The corporate media is dying and a new media revolution is here. It is time to fight for the truth. 2C TV is leading this fight. The channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite. Join our revolution and help us win for freedom and common sense. Become a 2C TV Plus member today and get access to uncensored shows, documentaries, and our chat forum. We are the media. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Maya 2C and this is your latest update from British government in this situation. Keir Starmer and the Labour cabinet have now officially confirmed that they will 100% back the International Criminal Court's ruling to obviously issue an arrest warrant against the Prime Minister Netanyahu. In this video, we're going to give you guys all the details of what's actually going on, and of course, we will bring you guys the facts around this story, including the legality, because I think it's important to discuss how legal these maneuvers actually are, especially when it comes to the British government. And unfortunately, it is extremely legal. So they do have the legal powers. We're going to talk about all this anyway. And if you're watching this live, we will get your reaction during the live show. Let's talk about the International Clown Court. Let's talk about this ruling earlier today. We reported that earlier on, that both Gallant and Netanyahu are now facing a potential arrest. Of course, they're not too stupid to travel around the world randomly to get arrested, so it's unlikely that it will happen. But of course, if there's a special circumstances, they have to be somewhere, then they could be in trouble. Now, again, they're not going to do it. But having said that, we've had reaction from a number of countries, part of the International Criminal Court, and we're going to talk about why it matters what country is saying what, because not all countries have the legal powers. That is a key point. First things first, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, under the leadership of socialist Starmer, has confirmed that they will 100% back the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant against Benjamin Netanyahu. This means that Keir Starmer has officially put the UK officials in a very uncomfortable position, because thanks to Tony Blair, everything goes back to Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of this country. He decided, just like what he did with the ECHR, the European Convention on Human Rights, the reason that the UK is in huge trouble when it comes to European judges is because Tony Blair created an act of parliament forcing Britain to follow the rulings from European judges. Whereas, for example, Denmark or other countries don't necessarily have to follow all the rulings from the European judges. But we made it a statute in terms of the British Parliament. He did the same thing with International Criminal Court, and specifically one tiny thing. So this was in 2001. Tony Blair created the International Criminal Court Act inside the UK Parliament. An act to give effect to the statute of the International Criminal Court to provide for offences under the law of England and Wales and Northern Ireland corresponding to offences within jurisdictions of that court and for connected purposes. Now, it's not really just about the Act of Parliament, but it's also because the United Kingdom is part of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. Now, not all countries are part of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. We have 124 countries part of this. That includes the United Kingdom, of course, countries like France, Germany, Canada, many others, but the United States of America is not part of it. That's why they've come out to obviously oppose this nonsense. Now, we're going to give you the actual legal powers that the United Kingdom actually has and will be forced by the ICC if Netanyahu is around. Now, obviously, he's not too stupid, Netanyahu or Gallant, but if that situation comes. These are the powers. Article 59, arrest proceedings in the custodial state. This article requires that a member state, that is the UK, receiving a request for arrest from the ICC, which has been issued today, ensures the leader is arrested and brought before the National Judicial Authority to determine the validity of the arrest. So that's one part. But it's not just about Article 59. It goes further. Article 86, general obligation to cooperate. Member states are obliged to cooperate fully with the ICC in its investigations and prosecutions, including the execution of arrest warrants. So that's the whole point. The ICC can't send out their own people to go arrest people, so they have to rely on the member states, especially those who have confirmed that they will 100% follow the ICC's ruling. They will call them up saying, can you arrest this person, for example? Now, Article 87, this is where Starmer has put the UK officials in a very uncomfortable position by saying that we 100% back it. Because 87 says, this is requests for cooperation. The ICC can formally request cooperation from member states, which they have done today, to arrest and surrender an individual. Failure to comply may lead to reporting a non-cooperation to the United Nations Security Council or the Assembly of States Parties. So in this situation, again, as I repeatedly say, Netanyahu and Gallant are not too stupid to recklessly go around so that they could be seen by, for example, the UK officials or Canadians. We're going to talk about the Canadians. But if, hypothetically, we say they are, then now that Starmer has obviously, not just Starmer, Tony Blair created the Act of Parliament that we will follow everything from the ICC. Not only that, we are part of the Rome Statute, one of the countries part of it, and Canada and Australia, that we have to follow it. If we don't, we will be in trouble. The British government will be in trouble. So it's a lose-lose situation. Now let's go to the Canadians, because there's been reaction from other countries as well. Justin Castro Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, over the last few minutes was questioned about this, whether he also supports the ICC's arrest warrant, just like Starmer. And surprise, surprise, he said yes.
Now that the ICC has issued warrants for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, Canadian law enforcement is obligated to arrest them should they come to Canada. Will you allow that to happen, or will you step in to prevent an arrest?
First of all, as Canada has always said, it's really important that everyone abide by international law. This is something we've been calling on from the beginning of the conflict. We are one of the founding members of the International Criminal Court, the International Court of Justice. We stand up for international law, and we will abide by all the regulations and rulings of the international courts. This is just who we are.
He's struggling. I think at the moment he opened his mouth, it's like, oh, well, I've said this now. I'm going to have to keep going. And he kept digging and digging and digging. But of course, there is at least one group of people on this planet, well, there are many groups, but one specific powerful group that will be fighting this. And that is the United States of America. God bless America. The White House has officially confirmed that the US fundamentally rejects the ICC's arrest warrant for the Israeli Prime Minister. Now, the good thing about the American system is that they are not part of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. So they're not going to be forced by the ICC to do this. Secondly, it's now cross-party. Both the White House, the current White House, and the incoming team. So Team Trump, the Republicans under the leadership of Trump have also said they are going to be fighting this and potentially sanction the ICC. For example, we had the Senator John Barroso saying that we must sanction the ICC. There have been a number of other Republican leaders who also come out to say as of January 2025, we will be looking into measures to hold this clown court to account. There have been a number of others who have come out to send out this signal, but it's not really just about the Americans, because actually if you look at other countries who are part of the Rome Statute, including Argentina, the Argentinians have also said they will not support this. Now that technically means, again, this is just very legal hypothetical. If Netanyahu visits Argentina, obviously Javier Milei has said, but Netanyahu is welcome here. He's my friend. I support the Jews. But because Argentina is part of the ICC's Rome Statute, technically, hypothetically, the ICC will have the power to then punish Argentina and send them to the UN Security Council. Of course, it's not going to get to that. But Javier Milei himself, the president of Argentina, has issued this statement saying that the Argentine Republic expresses its deep disagreement with the recent decision of the International Criminal Court to issue arrest warrants against Netanyahu and Gallant. This resolution ignores Israel's legitimate right to defend itself against constant attacks by terrorist organizations. Israel faces a brutal aggression, inhumane hostage-taking, and indiscriminate attacks against its population, criminalizing the legitimate defense of a nation. While admitting these atrocities is an act that distorts the spirit of international justice. Argentina stands in solidarity with Israel, reaffirms its right to protect its people, and demands the immediate release of all hostages. We call on the international community to condemn the actions of Hamas and Hezbollah, defend Israel's sovereignty, and act with justice and impartiality in the pursuit of lasting peace in the region. Javier Milei is 100% correct, and actually Javier Milei is more brave than, for example, even the United States, because, as I said, Argentina are part of the Rome Statute of the ICC. The US aren't, so the US will not be forced to do this. Argentina could get into trouble. Obviously, again, we're not going to get to that level, but if somehow Netanyahu decides to travel to Argentina, he is going to put Argentina into trouble. Now, there's been many others, again, going back to the US and the Republicans who are making a move. We also just had Senator Tom Cotton saying that the ICC is a kangaroo court and Karim Khan is a deranged fanatic. That's true. Now, Karim Khan, who's in charge of all this nonsense and the arrest warrant, now, I could say so much about this man, but let's just say he's the clown running the circus. These people are embarrassing the whole point of the world order since the 1940s and 50s. The whole thing, its credibility is being undermined by this bunch of control freak idiots. All of them, from the UN to the ICC to the WHO and all the other globalist entities. Suella Braverman from the United Kingdom has come out to say that this is a political decision dressed up as a legal one. It can only bring the ICC into disrepute. Israel is fighting for survival against Hamas following the October 7th attacks. To equate Hamas terrorism with Israeli defensive measures is a disgrace. Now, let's not forget that Suella Braverman is also a legal mind. She has obviously a legal background, and she knows what she's talking about when it comes to the basic aspects of this whole ruling. It's a political decision dressed up as a legal one. We will get some reaction from the live chat, but again, don't forget, you only have a few days left to take advantage of our Black Friday discount. 50% off 2CTV Plus annual memberships using the promo code FRIDAY. Go to 2ctvplus.tv. Join our platform, get access to all the premium shows, uncensored content, documentaries, and the ability to chat with me and like-minded people and support our new media revolution. Now, let's get on with the reaction to this story. First, super chat from Nina saying, thank you, Nina. For what? Trying to protect his country? Blair and Starmer should be arrested for what they have done to us and what people like Blair have done to the rest of the world. Let's not forget about that. It is absolutely fascinating that the people who supported and who actually acted in 2001 in Afghanistan, 2003 in Iraq, and in post-2010s in Libya and elsewhere, they are now taking the moral high ground, telling Israel that it doesn't have a right to defend itself? Really? Interesting. Ivan says, I wonder when Mossad are going to take Starmer out. A joke, to be clear, for the Stasi watch. Yeah, it's a joke, Metropolitan Police. Tony says, let's face it, no Prime Minister will ever be a BS-free, long-lost Winston Churchill. Yes. Brent from New Zealand says, Starmer feeding the Islamic crocodile in order to say that but it's just making it bigger. Yeah, but it's always true. I think Mossad might have a lever or two to pull Starmer. What is the obsession with getting Mossad to take out Starmer? It's not worth it, guys. Come on. Also, it's a little bit illegal to take out a foreign leader. Anyway, Vicky says, even Argentina managed to call for a release of hostages while Keir Starmer was only thinking about it. Well, to be fair, Argentina is a massive ally to Israel under Javier Milei. But yes, I mean, let's not forget that there is still a huge chunk of the population in Argentina, the left-wingers, who are very much anti-Semitic. But right now, the populace, the majority of them, and of course the president, are not anti-Semitic. Elizabeth asks a very first question. When is Blair going to be arrested? Again, let's not forget about Iraq. Fran says, Israel must withhold life-saving medicines they currently supply to the UK. We're not really sure that would be wise, because the war, or the Cold War that Netanyahu has now with the British government is with the British Prime Minister, not with the British people. And that's why he's not going to do that. In fact, Netanyahu and his government have been very proactive when it comes to supporting the people of their enemies. So Netanyahu and the projects that were backed by the Israelis to help with clean water in Iran for Iranian people. Even though the Iranian regime is Israel's enemy, Netanyahu provided solutions to help with clean water for Iranian people. Now, that is a difference in terms of morality of those type of leaders. They say, well, the enemy, my enemy is your government, not the people. Whereas, of course, the Westerners don't see it that way. The Westerners say, if I don't like the leader, I'm going to kill your people. So that is a difference in their morality. Kirka from Israel says, I appreciate Netanyahu got the threat of being arrested. It may help him to understand what being such a coward does not help. Yeah, he needs to step up his game. I don't understand what's going on. The consensus is still there in Israel, and the weak, cautious leadership. And again, a lot of people say, well, we was waiting for Trump to come sort things out. This thing is getting dragged on for absolutely no reason now. Now, it's funny because it goes against all the theories about Netanyahu as an individual. They're all the people who don't actually know anything about the Middle East. And they've been listening to the BBC, for example, saying, ooh, I've heard that Netanyahu is some sort of Hitler figure who's going to go around expanding Israel, killing everyone. Like, no, he's not even killing his own enemies properly. It's taken months and months to even eliminate the enemies. Anyway, Hannah says, I should sue you for making me listen to that... Is that Justin Castro Trudeau? I mean, life is tough sometimes. Yeah, you have to listen to soy boys like Justin. Pam says, who gave Starmer the right to tell Netanyahu what to do with his country? I've always said, don't mess with Israel because they will retaliate and defend their country. Also, it's just not a good idea to mess with the Jews. I mean, just everything's happened over the last few centuries, over the last few thousand years. There's always a backlash, let's just say. There's always a karma. Now, there's a lot of people saying Starmer should be arrested. Although Elon Musk responded to, obviously the UK Parliament, the MPs are now trying to get Elon Musk to come to London, to go to Parliament, to be questioned by the MPs over his role in the UK riots, as they said. But Elon Musk responded saying that we will be bringing in, issuing arrest for, summoning the UK MPs to come to America to be questioned about their authoritarianism and witch hunt against American citizens. So if Elon can say it, and he's going to be part of the next American government. Have I missed the stupid chats? No, luckily not. Good. I've done all that. Let's get back to some of the non-super chats. What is this? I saw... Oh, where is it gone? Someone said something about this guy. Who's this? This guy is deranged. The whole lot of them are. WTF. Is he thinking Trump needs to sort this? Is this about me or Starmer or Justin Trudeau? We talked about Netanyahu. We talked about a lot of people. Don't know who this guy is. I'm guessing it's Starmer. Could be me. I don't know. Tom says, this decision must have been like a group of friends drinking a round of shots at a bar. They all know it's a bad decision and shouldn't do it, but do it anyway. It's sheep mentality. But this is the problem with the new collectivism, which is the globalized collectivism. All the ideologies that have been evil throughout humanity, throughout the history of humanity, starting with the first globalist ideology, which was Islam, for the first real one, essentially, because it obviously believes in a one world government under the flag of Islam. And then followed by all the other collectivist ideologies, including Marxist ideologies, whether it's socialism, communism, obviously the Italian fascism, National Socialism in Germany. They are all collectivism. It's a collectivist ideologies. But now we have this ultra-liberal globalist mentality. That is a new version of collectivism, because it's not really about freedom. It's simply about, it's against the traditional collectivist ideology. So it doesn't really have a dictator in your country telling you what to do. But the idea is corporations and international entities, global entities like the EU or the UN, they will decide for you. You will be part of a big community. Basically a new version of one world government. That's the aim. That's still collectivism. You need to support individual liberties and self-determination for individual humans on this planet, but also for nation states. We as humans are still tribal. There is a reason we still have flags and borders. We are not in some sort of Star Trek fantasy world. And this is why these sort of ideologies must be opposed. And the solution to collectivist ideologies is not another collectivist ideologies. Collectivism is evil. Always support self-determination and freedom. It's the only way you can actually survive as a human and as a nation on this planet. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just another quick annoying reminder. I know I've been talking about it every day, but we only have a few days. Of course, we have a week to go. 50% off 2CTV Plus annual memberships. If you want to support this channel to stay independent, otherwise, as I always tell you, I'm going to go sell out to a corporation. Use the promo code Friday. Go to 2ctvplus.tv and sign up and join our new media revolution, or just at least go on the website, check it out, see if you like it or not. We released the new show yesterday, the Marxist Takeover of Arts. All the shows are premium content, uncensored, and of course with all the politically incorrect stuff that I say usually, even on here, but it's worse. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.